Welcome back to Adventure Repeats. Glad to see you here. So today we're replacing the CV shaft on this 2015 Chevy Tahoe. Is it easy? Is it hard? What's the best way to do it? I'm going to show you what I do. It tends to be the fastest, honestly, even though it seems like it's a little bit more work. What we're going to start with is right here. This nut, 36 millimeter. We're going to bang that off first with an impact just so it's out of the way. And how we're going to get this one out is we're actually going to pull the strut, because that's the least amount of effort to do to pull the 3 bolts off the top and pull it out to get the CV shaft out. Otherwise, you're popping knuckles and joints, and that can also cause more problems. Or you pull the wheel bearing out itself, and if it's not been replaced before, you're going to make a mess out of it. So if you haven't done any of the other work, that's the best way to go about it. If not, when you're replacing any of these parts, that is the best time to do these CV shafts. So that's how we're going to start. 36 millimeter right here. Get that out of the way. And then we're going to go to the sway bar link and disconnect that and undo that so it can allow this suspension to actually drop out to be able to remove this strut. So that's what we're going to start with. Now that the nut is out of the way, just took the bushing off the upper link because it was nice and easy to do. Next thing to do is disconnect the strut. Now if you do have MagneRide and all that fun stuff that you have with the fancier LTZ Tahoes, you got to make sure you disconnect that connector. So follow the wire up top and disconnect it. And mine's unfortunately on the opposite side right there with that little L-shaped plug. So I'm going to do that from the top down. And then to do that, you've got 2 15 millimeter bolts at the bottom. I always take those out the bottom first. And then you got 18 millimeter bolts up top. So impact works easy down there. Up here, you can either do it from a wrench or a socket from the top down, or a nice 18 millimeter ratcheting wrench. Works great right here in the wheel well to get these out. And then we'll drop this out and get it out of the way. Those are out of the way. Now we're going to get the 18s up top. Now strut's ready to come out. Got everything undone. Push it down on the control arm. Pull this down and out. Get the connector out before we pull on it and wreck something. And this comes right back out the top. We'll set that off to the side and start pulling everything else off. Now, since we already took this 36 millimeter nut off, next thing to do is the 6 CV shaft bolts on the back side. 15 millimeter all the way around takes that out. You have to be very careful not to be prying on this in this out direction, because you will pull that stub shaft out of that differential, and then you're going to be in a world of hurt because you got to pull that differential out to get that thing back in. So take your time, knock the 15 millimeter bolts out, and we can get the CV shaft pulled. Turn it a little bit. Keep doing that until all the bolts come out. Now I will mention, I did cheat a little bit. This splash guard that's normally there on the Tahoes and Suburbans, the trucks have a different style one. I did take the 4 bolts out on the back side to let it droop to allow room for the CV shaft to come, pull out, and then down out the back side here. So that's what I did. Otherwise you will not have room to get past that plastic shroud. Once you do that, we can start pulling this directly out the back side, and just like that, our CV shaft has been removed. One of my weird habits is I always like to grease the splines, not the threads, just the splines of these shafts, so that way the next time I have to pull one of these out and it's not going to be rusted in there solid, or if I ever have to change the wheel bearing, it comes out nice and easy. Falls in right from the back side, push it up in there, it'll pop right back into place and fall right into the cup. You can index them until they find their holes, and we'll start feeding in bolts back into the half shaft side by the differential. You get that in, and then We'll come back out here and tighten that one later. But for now, we're just going to put the nut on there. So this one does come with a brand new nut. And those are stakes in there for a reason, to keep it tightened and clamped so vibrations don't allow it to back off. And if you have to reuse the old nut, you do need to restake it with one of your own punches. But if you can, get a new nut, makes life easier. Now, all the bolts are in there. I tighten them down like I do lug nuts on a tire, back and crossways, and do all that fun stuff like that. It may not matter as much, but I do that. So now that that's done, we are going to drop this strut back in. Now that the strut is all put back together and all bolted in, next thing to do is put the sway bar link back together. So if you want to do a strut, now is the time to do it because it is out. And if you want to spend a shitload of money, keep the MagneRide stuff. It does work nice, just kind of expensive. But we're almost done. Now the next thing to do is put this nut on. So you can just bang it in with an impact, but I don't recommend that because if you over torque this, you can actually cause the bearing to fail. Even though it doesn't seem like it, it does actually matter. So this does need to be torqued to spec to make sure it's torqued right. And you can knock the center cap out of a wheel and do it that way and put a socket through it all on the ground, yada yada yada. But I just like to use a pry bar to the ground and then my ratchet, and that keeps it all in place as I torque it down and really put the load on it. So that's what I like to do. It works for me, and it saves a couple extra steps trying to put a tire back on it and then taking a tire back off and all that sort of stuff. Now after I torque my nuts down, I always like to put a mark on there to show where the stakes are, just so if I ever pull this tire off and I see that index off of that, I know I've got a problem. It's something I need to check into. Just something I do that takes 1 second but helps in the long run if there's ever an issue. So that's all it takes to replacing the CV shaft in one of these 2015 Chevrolet Tahoes. So there's plenty of other ways to do it, but that's the way I find to be the easiest and least invasive out of all the possible options. So hopefully you can like the video. Comment, tell us what you think, tell us what you want to hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming, a lot of great content on the channel, so be sure to check it out. And remember to have a great adventure.